confession time today on Fortitude through Stoicism, and this is my 365-day journey of implementing the ancient philosophy of Stoicism into the life of this modern masculine man. And so why is it confession time? Partly because I don't really love today's lesson. It's a little weak in the daily Stoic. So I'll give you the quote, and then we're going to go into some confession time. The best and greatest number of authors have asserted that philosophy consists of three parts: the moral, the natural, and the rational. The first puts the soul in order. The second thoroughly examines the natural order of things. The third inquiries into the proper meaning of words and their arrangements and proofs, which keep falsehoods from creeping into displace truth. Seneca. So take that for what you will. Now it's confession time. So I've been on this Stoic journey now, the daily Stoic journey, since December of last year. I was aware of it before. I was dabbling, tinkering, but it really wasn't until I was involuntarily remanded to Hillsborough County holding for 3 beautiful nights last year, in particular Christmas Eve and Christmas. So it was then, because I had already a base knowledge of Stoicism, I went into Seneca. You are now Seneca. You are a slave. And the one thing I refused to allow that situation to do was to imprison my mind. And yes, I'm a freedom guy. I do not like bars. I do not like bars, especially when I didn't do anything fucking wrong. So, 1 year ago, I spent 3 nights in jail. Now, it's all in the rearview mirror, all getting expunged, all that bullshit. But still, that is the catalyst that encouraged me to go down this daily Stoic journey. Now, here's the litmus test. I did a consulting project last year in December. The project manager at that time is now with me on a new project, nearly almost a year later. Oh, probably a year, very close to a year later. And now she's my consultant and I'm the project manager. I kept moving up the food chain. So we went through our day one open and we did all of our stuff. And we're doing our recap. And I'm going through my thing and she says, you've changed. I said, yeah, thank you. I know. I know. She goes, no. She goes, really, the difference is profound. She said, you're more articulate, the depth, your focus. And she says, your emotional control. She goes, you don't get rattled. She's like, that was brutal in there today, and you didn't even fluster, get rattled. Hell, I thought you might have been falling asleep at one point. She said you were so calm. That's right. It's true. Here's also another test. I wear the whoop, and it tracks your stress. One of the things it tracks. So when I was doing my projects, when I first started wearing this, and I was early on in my Stoic journey, I was having huge stress spikes in my opens, especially when it came down to objections, talking about big dollars, overcoming objections, all those uncomfortable things that happen in a process. Because again, I'm getting them to write a very big check. Now, I have higher stress levels at night when I'm sleeping because of my apnea and PTSD and all that than I do actually when I'm in something that one would consider a high stress situation. That is the power of Stoicism. That is the power, what this gift has given me. Now, there's a lot of things that happened in my life in the last year My one adult child decided that she didn't want a relationship with me any longer. Understood. I've still been writing and messaging to my 3 children who have never responded. Understood. I spent those 3 nights in jail. Understood. Hurricane. Car. Displaced people. Good. This has been one of my best years ever in terms of growth. So despite all this adversity where one might be set back, even the huge legal expenses that I've incurred, this is still my greatest year of growth. God damn, leave me alone. The intestinal fortitude, the mental toughness, the grit, the control. So here's I'm gonna take it to the next level, right? As a child, I was diagnosed with ADD. ADHD. They wouldn't let me have sugar. I said all kinds of learning disabilities. I couldn't read. All of these things. And so the reason I bring that up is my whole life I was misdiagnosed, misunderstood. And as it turns out, I've done some testing. I've done the AQ test and the RAADS-R test. And as it turns out, I may be high functioning. I am certainly high masking, but I am on the ASD scale, the autism spectrum disability. I call it disability. And the reason I'm reading some of my stuff here from my analysis that I got back, and the reason why this was such a stigma with people is we see the, again, the spectrum is what it is. There are people that are high functioning. There are people that are not functioning, if you will. All of these, disorders and disabilities that I've now claimed. And again, this is one of the reasons why I struggled with PTSD from my combat. It wasn't that I had an overly traumatic combat experience, because there's some things that don't bother me. But what affected me was my interaction with the children over there. And it's because my mind doesn't understand certain things. And because of the trauma that I experienced as a child, my brain just broke down, okay? It's not because I had this overly brutal combat situation. It's just that my brain could not process because of the way it's been built. So, things that I have. Attention deficit disorder, oppositional defiance disorder, which means somebody tells me something, I do the opposite, right? These are disorders. ASD, autism spectrum disorder. Disorder, disability, PTSD, all these things, right? These labels. But I contend, it's not a disability. It's not a disorder. It's evolution. Allow me to continue. When I tried to live a life that someone else prescribed, hey, this is who you are, these are who you have to love, this is how you have to act, this is what you need to do, I can't function in that, okay? Because of the way I was born and the way my brain is wired. I need systems. I need consistency. I need to utilize my cognitive strengths. So in terms of empathy, and this is why I struggle in relationships. Number one is I have what they call cognitive empathy, which means because of my extremely talented and strong brain and mental capacity and ability to understand, I understand. But I don't have what they call empathy. I can't feel it. I can't feel what you feel. You can't project things of me. I can't feel that. That's why I drive blues crazy on the color code, because I can't feel what they want me to feel, and because they have that control in their minds that they need me to feel something that I can never feel. Also, perhaps the reasons why my kids reject me. I can provide. I can protect. I can lead. I can inspire. I can motivate. But it's hard to connect. Always has been. That's why I'm that guy, that outlier, that lone wolf, if you will, in man-on-man situations, right? Male-on-male friendships. I can't understand the sarcasm, right? So like guys will break each other's balls. I don't understand it. So I can't participate. So I always feel socially awkward. So I avoid it. Gullible, right? Because I take things when somebody says it, right? There might be a sarcastic undertone or something like that. By being facetious, I take what is said. That's why I thrive in data analysis, and that's why I thrive in complex systems. So I can visualize complex systems and problems and concepts clearly in my mind that other people can't even understand. My challenge is articulating that so that it's understood. So behavioral patterns, obviously I've had my challenges, relationship, I've had my challenges, childhood development challenges. But I'm telling you this because I used to be embarrassed of all of my disorders. And now because of Stoicism, I accept who I am. I accept this is my life. I accept that my children maybe can't love me because they can't connect with me. I can't believe in regrets because this is the life I've been given. And this is what Stoicism teaches me. I love my children. My arms are always open to them, but I will never force them to do something that they're not comfortable with. And if they can't find love in their heart for me, I respect that. Does it hurt? Well, what's for breakfast? And then I have a meeting. I can't focus on the negative. All I can focus on, hey, they're three amazing people, and I had a part in their creation. I still take care of my children financially. I still provide them. I still send them gifts. I still, take care of my family. So through this Stoic journey, I know I'm running long today, but through the Stoic journey, the biggest thing, I guess, is acceptance. I've accepted the fact that I am who I am. I'm very unique. Very, very, very unique. I do something that most people can't do or won't do. And it is a superpower for me. I mean, I don't know if you saw that movie, The Accountant, right? That's what I do. I get in these fucking rooms with all these markers and blood wallpaper, and I write all over these walls, and I figure this shit out. I mean, honestly, that's what I do. And yeah, I have flogged myself in high-stress situations, right? Because I needed some kind of release. I didn't know how to get it, right? I've broken floggers on my back, on myself, self-flogging. This is confession time. This is 100% confession time right now. And the reason why I'm sharing all this is because it's irrelevant what you think of me. And there's freedom in the truth. There's freedom in integrity. Truth is the key. This is our team symbol because truth is the key and it will set you free, right? That's what all this truth has done. It set me free. I have no burdens. I have no skeletons. What are you going to say about me? He was a bad guy 5 years ago? Sure, I'll tell you some even worse stories, right? I will tell you worse stories. Am I a bad guy? At one point, yeah, I've taken lives. There are lives that I couldn't save or didn't save. But there is this. I have discovered an insane amount of resilience and grit. And through this whole process, my entire goal for 2025 is peace. So lately I've been going through a big purge. I don't have any of the logins to my social media. I've been cutting people out of my life again. It feels good. hate to say it, it feels good. I've been building an AI intelligence bot that's integrated with all my systems and giving her a voice and a name, and that's fun. Reliable. So I'm different, and I accept the fact that you may or may not like that. It is what it is. And that's how I approach the world now. I have a mission, I have a path, I have a journey. And if I get knocked off my path, off my journey, well, get up and get back on. But the confession today was because of the realization that this stoic journey may have been subtle at first, but for the people who haven't been around me and now are, the difference is overwhelming for some, honestly. But for me now, it gives me an advantage because that was the thing I was looking for. I needed to maintain my control so I could maintain my focus. That was my weakness. That was a big chink in my armor. People knew where to push my buttons. I've had the buttons removed. They're not there anymore. Can't find them because that's my choice. Because I will not allow someone to push the buttons in my brain. That is what I have control over. And on that, got to get in the shower.